Pat's live in the far northwest suburbs with Star Wars superfans. Hello, Pat.
How about it? On is ready to pop, so they sent me out to Gilbert's. I didn't even know that was a town either. I know, it's crazy. I'm here with some of my friends. As you can imagine, that's not too hard to believe these days that I would get along with people like this. I'm going to introduce you to a Star Wars filmmaker. I'm going to see if I can get this guy to talk. I'm going to see if I can get Darth to stop goosing people all morning. And I got some sports coming up next. Big free agent signings from the Bears. See you in a little bit. You can pour the coffee already. I don't know what you're doing.
Hey, Pat's with some Star Wars superfans in the far northwest suburbs. Patrick.
It's a galaxy far, far away to me. I'll tell you what, I have been a Star Wars fan for many years. Had no idea that the Imperial Guard and Endor Commander were compulsive gamblers. Found that out this morning. Apparently, Darth used to have an issue himself, but he got in a program, so now he's only a fan of it. I'm going to talk to the gentleman whose house this is in a moment. Want to get to a little sports first if frickin' Frack over here don't distract us too much. For the second year in a row, Bears GM Phil Emery has crushed the first day of free agency. Last year, Brandon Marshall. This year, he added the two best guys on the market at the two best positions that the Bears were in need of, tight end and left tackle. The tight end is... All right, so we're in Gilbert, Illinois, and I'm with Cris Macht, whose house this is. Cris is a huge Star Wars fan and a filmmaker, too. You've just completed your second documentary about Star Wars.
Yeah, The Force Within Us, my second documentary about how Star Wars has impacted and changed people's lives in a very, very positive way.
He also has a tremendous memorabilia collection, which we're going to share with you. But, you know, J.J. Abrams is taking over the franchise, and, you know, a lot of uncertainty. He's introducing some new characters to the franchise. What is your name?
My name is Carlton Fett.
Carlton Fett we have here, and you are, sir?
I'm Bat-Mando.
Bat-Mando, who is my personal favorite. It's a little blasphemous, but I kind of like you anyway. And who are you?
Captain Ameri-Fett.
Captain Ameri-Fett. Now, we're going to have two Fetts. Are you guys part of the same Fett family, or how's this going to work?
Well, we're part of the new Star Wars fan group called the Mandalorian Mash-Ups.
Okay.
Where we take the Boba Fett costume and we mix it in with another theme. Just to have some fun with.
I don't even know how you're friends with these guys, Cris. They're completely destroying the entire entity of Star Wars. You know this, too. But we'll have a conversation off camera. We're going to see Chris's memorabilia collection coming up in a little bit around town.
Awesome. I love it. I love those guys. Hey, Paul.
Hi. And Pat's around town with some Star Wars super fans this morning. Hey, Pat.
You know, guys, for so long I've tried hiding behind sports and concealing who I really am. I haven't told my parents, I haven't told my family, but it's time I come out of the closet. I'm a nerd. I like Star Wars, I like Walking Dead, I like Batman, and I'm about to lightsaber the crap out of Darth Vader. Yeah. Come on, Vader! Coming up around town, I'm going to talk to the guy whose house this is about his films and his collection. Coming up next.
He's acting like it's a surprise to us.
Stay with us. Pat's live inside the home of some Star Wars super fans. And now for Around Town, Pat's hanging out with some Star Wars super fans this morning. Hello, Patrick.
Hi there. Hey, Larry.
Yo.
I see my Schwartz is as big as yours. Force is strong with this one. Hey, so this is Cris Macht. This is his house. He's a big Star Wars fan, a Star Wars filmmaker. But first, I want to, you got some collection of memorabilia here. Talk me through some of what you have and how long it took you to amass all of this.
Well, I've been collecting hardcore for 20 years. This is my basement, not my parents' basement.
Right.
And as you can see, there's a lot of vintage stuff down here. And with the new documentary, The Force Within Us, it's a very nostalgic film. It's about people that grew up with Star Wars and how it's followed them throughout their entire life.
Now, I see you have over here Princess Leia in the gold bikini. I have to imagine that was of great service during your junior high school and high school years. What do you estimate a lot of this is worth? Because when I was a kid, I collected all of this stuff. I noticed that it's not in the packaging, and that takes down its value somewhat. But appraise for me how much some of this stuff is worth these days.
You know, I probably have thousands of dollars worth of stuff down here. You know, I always tell my wife, she goes, I keep seeing more and more stuff. And I say, hey, there's always eBay. If we need to sell it, we can, and you know, get some money and pay the bills that way as well, you know?
So you've made your second documentary about Star Wars. I got to imagine that probably attracts just tons of chicks.
Well, I don't need any chicks because I have my beautiful wife. So.
Yeah, let's meet your wife. Now, would you say, yeah, you can stand up, you can sit down, whatever you like. Would you say that you accept all of this, or are you into this too?
Oh, I accept it. Yeah.
You just accept it. You're not really hardcore into it either.
Better than cracking hookers, so.
That's right, yeah. I can't tell you how many times my parents told me that about my multitude of hobbies. At least you're not on crack or bringing home prostitutes.
Right. It's good, clean fun.
Yeah.
Good.
And tell us a little bit about the new film again, and when it's coming out and how people can see it, Cris.
Well, we're premiering the movie March 22nd at the Arcada Theater. Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett, Robert Watch, who was the producer on Return of the Jedi and the Indiana Jones movies, Dave Dorman, the artist. There's a lot of celebrities in the film, and it's just about how Star Wars has really, you know, changed your life, you know, and you can see it for free March 22nd at the Arcada Theater. Go to oshows.com. Get all the info that way.
I feel like I do need to correct your wife. There may have been crack and hookers in Tatooine in the first one. There were some bad places there, and your husband can tell you all about that, so be careful.
Hey, you know what happens in Tunisia stays in Tunisia.
Yeah, I've heard that one a lot of times too. Anyway, we are here, and our friends are with us. We're going to be here all morning long. He's got a whole nother level of Star Wars memorabilia, and I have at least 2 more costume changes. We are live around town at the home of Cris Macht, acclaimed Star Wars director. We'll be back with more a little bit later on.
Pat, we have a little more time. I'd like to know, by a show of hands, how many of those Star Wars characters are single?
Got your stuff in. All right. Now, Mary, we're on.
What did he say? Oh, I couldn't hear you. My earpiece. Repeat it, I'm sure. How many of you guys are single? Robin is looking for a man. Is there anybody out here who makes more than $50,000 a year and can support a chain-smoking habit? You can? Okay.
Yeah, I don't smoke, though.
Okay. Anybody barrel their own whiskey? Anyone here? Darth. Here you go, Robin. And you always say you like a big guy. You like a big strapping guy. I think here he has a mask on his face, so nobody really knows what he looks like. And what do you think?
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
At least it's not cracking hookers.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're going to get his wife
He could choke you without even looking at you or touching you, because that's power of the dark side.
There you
All
go.
these Star Wars fans and nobody's single. Look at that. Robin can't even look for Robin.
I don't believe it. They're all telling lies. All right. Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, guys. Oh.
What a great tagline for our show. At least it's not cracking hookers.
Closed captioning for WGN News is sponsored by Luna.
Yeah.
What's 11 to 4? I don't understand how betting works. Instead of 11 to 1.
You got to spend $11 to win 4. Oh, the other way around. You got to spend $4 to win 11.
Why would you spend $4 on that pub rather than
Pat, is there sports today?
How are you, Pat?
Tell me about those Star Wars
Yeah, they're
guys.
still talking, guys. Any second they should get this, any minute. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Hey, you know, the old story goes that, what was his name? Harrison Ford was a carpenter when he got recruited to play Han Solo. I got to think sportscaster, I can make the easy transition over. We're in Gilberts, Illinois, at the home of a super fan doing around town because Anna's ready to pop. So they sent me out here. Darth, she didn't want to be at a hospital in Elgin when she delivered, apparently.
All I know is that I am not the father.
No, he's not the father. This time, I can't talk about the first one because we're not really sure as of yet. Can I start my sports now?
As you wish.
Thank you, Darth. Hey, for the second year in a row, Bears GM Phil Emery has absolutely crushed the first day of free agency. Last year, Brandon Marshall. This year, picked up the 2 best guys at the 2 positions that the Bears are in need of, left tackle and tight end. The tight end is former. This cover reads, the franchise that brought hockey back. Again, we are in Gilberts, Illinois. Got my pal Darth Vader. Now, Darth, you know, one thing I need to ask you, you're dead, so you're not in any of these future films. I mean, what are you doing with your life? Do you have a job now? Are you freeloading? What are you doing?
I've been spending a lot of my free time in Boca.
Boca is beautiful this time of year. You don't want to be there in the summer. You don't want to be there in the summer because it gets too hot. I just don't want to see you turn into like the Danny Bonaducci of Star Wars, where 30 years later you're still cashing in on the Partridge Family.
I'm getting residuals every day.
Very good. Hey, so, you know, he wasn't like one of those guys that blew away all of his money when he was younger. He put it away. He had a good financial manager. We got more coming up around town with all of my new best friends from Gilbert's, Illinois, a little bit later on.
Bring them home with you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
I'm at the home of Star Wars superfan and acclaimed director Cris Macht. Oh my God, get away from me, you Imperial scum! They're chasing me! We saw his downstairs collection. We're gonna see his upstairs collection coming up from around town in Gilbert's, Illinois. A galaxy far, far away. Seriously, it took me like 40 minutes to get out here. And then with the traffic, I gotta imagine it's gonna be even longer to get home. We'll be back around town.
Time now for Around Town.
Pat's in Gilbert with some big Star Wars fans. Pat, is it Gilbert or Gilbert's? Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, guys, it's not a long time ago, but it is a galaxy far, far away. Gilbert's, Illinois. We are at the home of a super Star Wars fan named Cris Macht. He is a collector, a filmmaker. He's got beautiful artwork. We already showed you the basement of his home, which is filled. Is my bun coming undone? We've already showed you the basement of the home filled with thousands of dollars worth of memorabilia. The guy's wife let him have a second level of Star Wars stuff. What's the difference between what's up here? First of all, I don't want you getting fresh with me because of this outfit. I know you got a little fetish for Princess Leia. What's the difference between what we have up here than what we have downstairs?
Well, downstairs, every case you saw downstairs is themed. There's one for each of the movies. This is more of a hodgepodge. This is dedicated to Empire Strikes Back and some of the new stuff. I have some pieces from the movie set when I went over to Tunisia and made the first.
Can you show me some of the pieces from the set so I know which is which and which to put under my shirt when I leave?
Right here, this is a piece of door trim that was actually used on...
Door trim? Oh my God!
These are pieces from the moisture evaporator up here that you see in the desert. You know, Luke was obviously a moisture farmer.
Right.
And all that stuff is still there. It's very, very weather torn. And this is from the hydroponic garden that was right outside the homestead there, which is the homestead. I
mean, I think even the common Star Wars fan knows about the hydroponic garden in Star Wars.
I don't know.
Episode 4.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
And he was a moisture farmer as opposed to most farmers who don't need any moisture, who just operate completely dry. Luke was a moisture farmer. And then, do you have a lot of toys up here too?
I do, and I'm expecting my first child in July.
Congratulations!
Thank you. And my kid, I don't know what I'm going to do with the collection when the kid comes, because I can't let the kid play with this stuff.
And again, no, not at all. We want to pay respect to the future Star Wars movies, another 3 films coming out. You've already got stuff from the next group. David Bridles offered up what the hell is a wedding dress doing up here?
Well, you know, my wife boxed her wedding dress up, and I just thought it looked like a cool collectible in that box that you're not supposed to open. So I thought it'd be cool right next to the life-size Yoda, you know?
All right, so listen, Cris Macht, thank you so much for having us here. Gilbert's, Illinois, I need you to just stand right there. For around town, and your movie coming out again?
My movie coming out is a week from this Friday. It's at the Arcata in downtown St. Charles. You can actually buy the DVD. We only made 1,000 DVDs, and there's a lot of Star Wars fans on theforceamongus.com. I had a wonderful time making this film with my best friend Ian Vasek, who I grew up with. It's a very, very nostalgic film, and there's a lot of Star Wars celebrities in the film that people will be familiar with.
All right. Thank you, Cris. Just stay right there. Help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Help
Never
me,
gets
Obi-Wan.
old.
No, never gets old.